All right, guys, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to graph these quadratics. We're going to use the vertex to make our graph, and we're going to use Desmos. So we're going to put the vertex, we're going to fill in the table of rows using our calculator. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our calculator to plot a bunch of points, and we're just going to make our graph. Okay, so if we have Desmos, though, this is really easy. All right, so this is actually, this graph right here, y equals x squared, is the parent function for all quadratics. This is the most basic type of quadratic graph. So y equals 1x squared is your parent function that we're going to graph first. That's the one that this function we build off of, okay? And the vertex of the parent function always starts at 0, 0. Okay, so once again, this is my parent function, and the vertex is going to be 0, 0, making the axis of symmetry x equals 0. Okay, and I'm going to just take a little screenshot of this and put that in the graph. We'll make the little... All right, so the domain of all quadratics, the answer is going to be the same. All values, okay? And the reason why is because this graph is going to go along the x-axis forever, okay? It's going to keep getting wider and wider, and it's going to cover all of the values of x. Once again, the domain for all quadratic graphs, it never changes. You're going to put all reals. All x values can get plugged in here, and a y value is going to come out. The y value is going to be a little different. And if you guys remember, interval notation for all reals is negative infinity to positive infinity. This says all numbers on the number line are part of your domain. The range here is going to be start at 0, and notice it's going to go up forever. So if I wanted to write this as an inequality, I'm going to use y because y is the variable for range. All the y values are going to be greater than or equal to 0 here. And if we want to write this in interval notation, we're going to start with the least value it can be, which is 0, and we're going to go to the largest value it can be, which is infinity. And if you guys remember, parentheses are for when that value is not part of the solution. Brackets are for when it is part of your solution. So because 0 is part of the solution, I want to put 0 in a bracket. Because my graph is never going to get to the top of that graph, it's never going to get to infinity, I use a little parenthesis there. Now your calculator, so we already know when we graph, we're going to always want to put 0, 0 in the front or in the middle. Because if we want to make a graph, we want to put points on either side. So a really cool thing about Desmos, it will actually give you the table of values for your graph. I just want to show you guys, if you go up to this gear at the top, the edit list, and click this, it's going to give you a table of values here. And look at, here's 0, 0 right here. I'm just going to copy and paste this table of values right over what I have. Okay, so the calculator is going to tell you the table of values. So if you guys need to make a graph, just go up to that gear and get all the ordered pairs. I'm going to make the graph now by hand. So 0, 0 was the vertex. That's going to go right here. And then we have the ordered pair negative 1, 1. Go to the left one, go up 1. The ordered pair 1, 1. Go to the right one, go up 1. 2, 4. I'm going to go to the right 2 and up 4. Here's my next ordered pair. Negative 2, 4. Notice that these points are mirror images of each other. Okay, and I'm going to do my best to draw in my parabola right now. But okay, make sure that you know how to get to that table of values. Once again, you go up to the gear, and then you press this little table feature, and it's going to give you the table of values on this graph. All right, so let's do another one. I'm going to graph 2 of these for you guys. Let's graph one that's not a little bit more, it's got a little bit more going on here. So we got y equals x squared plus 2x minus 1. All right, so we've got the vertex is -1, -2 here. I'm going to just take this out. All right, let's start labeling all the characteristics of this graph. So the vertex is -1, -2. Making, oh, I put that in the axis of symmetry, sorry. Making the axis of symmetry the equation x equals -1. All right, the domain for all quadratics is going to be all reals. And if we want to write all reals in interval notation, we're going to do -infinity to +infinity. Now the domain here, you want to look at the range, the y value of your vertex. So the y value of my vertex is -2, right? Here's the x value, here's the y value. That is the lowest point that my graph is going to get. This vertex is considered a minimum value. It's the lowest value. So my range is going to start at -2 and go up to +infinity again. If I wanted to write this inequality in interval notation, I'm going to start with the smallest value going up to the largest value. So interval notation here is going to be -2 to +infinity. Let's fill in the table of values. So we already know that the vertex is -1, 2. I'm going to put that in the middle of my graph. Let's go to the gear. Let's get some more values. So we've also got, let's just take a screenshot. All right, so we got -1, -2 right here. We also have -1, and let's graph this by hand. So I always make my vertex first. That's why it's important to put that. -1, -2, sorry, I didn't put the negative in there, is going to be down here. 0, -1, right here. -2, -1, right here. 1, 2, go to the right one, go up 2. Now we can't see the other point, but if we draw in our axis of symmetry, that straight line, you can reflect any point across from that. So because this point right here is two spaces from the axis of symmetry, I know there's another point 2 spaces exactly on the other side. Okay, so guys, make sure when you're making your parabolas by hand, you're finding the vertex first, and then you're using the chart feature to get more ordered pairs. We're going to work more with domain and range, but if you guys go back into Classkick, I'm going to show you guys where we talked about domain and range. And we did it in Unit 3. And we named the domain and range for a lot of functions. So if you guys want to go back and review how to name domain and range in those interval notations and all that stuff, this is what you want to go look at. Okay, this is definitely the review material. So now you guys are going to work on IXL skill 4J7. Please make sure you're uploading that for credit for this lesson.